everyone, and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. So today we're doing a pick a card reading on your future spouse, how people will see you as a couple. So if you're curious to learn how other people are going to perceive you guys, how you're going to appear to others, then this will be a very good reading for you. As always, if you like my content, please give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And I am now going to introduce the beautiful piles that we are working with today. So here we have pile 1 with the quartz. Here we have pile 2 with the fluorite. And then here we have pile 3 with the amethyst. So take a second and turn your thoughts and your intuition inwards. And then once you find the pile that speaks most to you, you can get your timestamp in the description below and fast forward to get your own personal reading. And I will see you guys there. Thank you so much. Okay, group 1, welcome to your reading. So I have your guys' cards here. I'm going to shuffle them and see what comes through for you today. And we are just asking for any clarity and guidance on how people see you guys as a couple in the future. Just gonna pick 2 more. Okay, and I'm also going to pick some cards from the Golden Thread Tarot deck, which I have here. So let's just see what comes through today. I feel like there's one in there. Okay. It's always funny when that happens. Look, you guys got the Knight of Swords twice. So let's move these up so you can see them. So I'm going to walk through them briefly. So here we have Judgment, the Hermit, the King of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Fool, Temperance, and again the Knight of Swords. Same placement, which is always interesting. So let's get started. With Judgment, I feel like people are jealous of your spouse. I don't know why, I just get that feeling. I feel like your spouse is someone who is very determined and is probably quite a strong business person. So I feel like this person has definitely not only been financially successful, but they've also kind of built an empire. Like I get this sense like this person is really changing the way that the world thinks about something. So just as an example, let's say that they use a new technology and they make it like really innovative and really cutting edge. So I feel like naturally other people are a little bit jealous of your spouse. And because of that, they're a little bit jealous of you, both of you, right? As a couple. They look to you and they see that you guys have a great life, that you are on your own 2 feet, you're really financially abundant and successful. And I think that they're a little bit jealous. So that's the first thing that I get that comes through. I think that with Judgment, it's about the day of reckoning. And it's like, if you put in a lot of effort, then you get good things back and good things come back to you. But it can also work in the way where you're really successful and other people aren't quite at that level yet, you know? And so because of that, they are a little bit jealous. And so that's the first thing that I get about your guys' relationship. And here we have the Hermit. And what this means to me is that you and your future spouse have this like secret shared understanding that other people can't really break into. I really feel like you guys have a very deep connection and other people just aren't able to break into it. They aren't able to understand what you guys are thinking and feeling at all times, whereas you two have this very strong bond. So there's kind of like a link between the both of you that lets you communicate without even saying words. But I feel like this is a spiritual connection. I feel that you both understand each other on a very deep spiritual level. So this relationship, I actually think, is something that has been with you and your soul for a while. So I think your soul decided to come into this world and have a relationship with this person because you knew that you were there to support each other and you knew that you were there to guide each other. And so I think that there are lessons to learn together, but they're all good lessons, and they are based on this very spiritual foundation that you both have together. So when we see this Judgment card and the Hermit card together, what I'm interpreting about you and your future spouse is that other people are just not really on the same wavelength that you guys are on. And so I feel that that will be both great, and it might also be a little frustrating at times. Great because you have this beautiful shared understanding that other people, they just don't get it, right? And so it's kind of special. It's a unique thing and it's a unique relationship, but it might also be frustrating because other people in your life quite literally might judge you. This is what we see with Judgment. I think they just are a little bit jealous and they're not really understanding how all of this stuff falls together into the bigger picture. So just stay steadfast and stay strong in who you are and in your commitment to the relationship, because I do feel that this is a higher soul spiritual relationship coming through here. So you guys are meant to be together, which is great. King of Wands. So with the King of Wands, I definitely think that people are seeing you and your future spouse as a very innovative couple. So you guys are movers and shakers. You're shaking up the world. You're shaking up how people think about things. So you're actually kind of pressing back upon society's foundation and structure. And that might sound a little intense if you feel like, oh, I'm just a normal person or whatnot. But I actually do think that you and your future spouse have certain activities or business ventures where you are changing the way that something has traditionally been viewed. So as I said before, with technology, could be kind of altering the way that technology is used and using it in a more progressive way, a way that will help humans advance and succeed. And then for some reason, I'm just going to share any messages I get. I'm literally also seeing a red carpet, so I feel like you guys are going to be very successful together. This is definitely some kind of fame energy is attached to you and your future spouse. I don't think that it's necessarily fame where everyone knows everything about you guys. It's not necessarily like you're movie stars, but you guys have created something that is significant and that is shaping the world and shaping the future. And one thing that I want to point out here is with this King of Wands in this card, you can see that we know his figure and we know that he's holding this wand, so he has all of these unique and innovative ideas, but we're not really seeing his face. And so that's interesting because to me, I think this is a little bit of a mix where if you choose to, you can actually hide a little bit behind your idea or your creation. Your face doesn't need to be public to the world. Not everyone needs to know that this is you, showcased in front of the entire public. If you choose to, you will have great fame if you want to. So the red carpet opportunity is there if you guys want it, but it's really up to you guys to decide how much fame you want to have. In any case, this is a very innovative figure that we're seeing here, and I see this as being a more progressive thing. So it's either something with technology or it's something that's like holistic. It's definitely not like a typical in-your-box type of invention that we're talking about here. So you and your future spouse are naturally changing society, which is amazing. So, wow, congratulations. This is not every day that I have a reading like this. So I'm very proud of you guys and I'm quite in awe. And I can't wait to see what you all come up with and develop. Now, when we see the Knight of Swords, this is a very determined energy coming through. This is the type of energy that wants to cut through the noise, cut through the BS, so to speak. And I do think that there will be some, because I think that people are naturally jealous, like I said before. It's because you guys have reached this level of prosperity and fame, if you want it, that other people have not reached. And so I think that what this is saying is it's going to be very important for you guys to just cut through other people's perceptions and opinions of you. Now, most people love you. Most people see you as someone to aspire to. So I feel like you guys definitely have a following, which is significant. It's definitely a significant following. But I also think that with any kind of fame or fortune comes a level of jealousy or a level of hate. You know, there's always haters out there. So just remember, it will be important to stay determined in your mission. The thing that you and your future spouse are building or doing together is something where you are changing and progressing humanity. And so it's very important that you stay determined on that and don't get sucked into all of this other stuff that's kind of percolating around you guys. Because other people will have opinions and other people will say things. That's always the way with any kind of passion that you share, especially if it's like online or you have an online business or something like that. But you just have to be willing to brush that off and know that your true supporters are standing beside you. And I want you to know that the people who support you are definitely much bigger in mass than the people who don't support you. But what I'm seeing here with the sword is just the need to cut through any kind of opinions or things that are negative energy that people for some reason want to press upon you. You're going to have to cut through that together. And I think you guys will be successful because you are very determined to do this. So you and your future spouse, this is like a dream that you guys have had for a while. And if you haven't met your future spouse yet, then I expect that you both have this kind of entrepreneurial vibe where you have a desire to genuinely change the world. You guys are pulled to each other because you feel like, wow, together we can really make a difference. And so that's really amazing. This is a very unique relationship. It's not something where this is common at all. And so just remember that you two are kind of like fighters in this battle that we're dealing with as a world, as a society. You guys are taking on something that is much bigger than yourselves, and you're able to create a more innovative and hopeful future for other people. So definitely stay determined. This is very important. Now, when we see the Fool, I think what this means is that when you guys first start dating or when you're first together, you don't even understand conceptually the level of fortune and visibility that you're going to get as a couple. This is massive visibility. This is not normal. This is like movie star visibility. This is someone who is truly changing the world. And so once again, can't stress enough, this is not your typical reading, right? This is not your average Joe that you're going to marry. This person has fame. Even if they don't have it when you meet them, this person has this energy of someone who is becoming a world-known figure. And so I think with the Fool, it's showing a few things. One, showing that you two are traveling together. So for some reason, I'm very pulled to traveling the world, being able to go from place to place. And I think in many cases, this is like events that are happening where you're showcasing your ideas or you're speaking in front of the public, in front of a broader group of people. That's definitely on the books for you guys. When we see the Fool, this also is just symbolic of this journey being very long and rewarding and you learning things throughout the journey together. And so I think one of the biggest lessons here in you and your future spouse is, you know, how do you guys balance this lifestyle that you're leading? Because it's a very busy lifestyle. This is not just your day-to-day is passing by and things are, you know, every day is the same. It's not like that at all. This is a lifestyle where there's a lot of visibility, and with visibility comes pressure. And so I think that, you know, you guys will have to learn to balance that, but I think that you will, because we can even see in this picture here, the Fool is juggling all of these things. You know, he has all of these different balls up in the air and he's juggling them. So this deck's interpretation did a nice job of reflecting the situation that you guys are going to have on a day-to-day basis. Regarding how other people see you, I really think that you have a massive following, so I think that both of you are going to be fairly active on social media, or it's something like your future spouse is a director and they've created this movie that just gets super popular and then people naturally gravitate to them that way. I do see, for transparency's sake, I see your future spouse as being kind of like the leader when it comes to this fame and this fortune that we're speaking of. But I see you as very quickly falling in line with this lifestyle and very quickly also innovating and creating new things. So that's really, really cool. I think that other people are going to aspire to be like you guys, that's for sure. There will be jealousy, that is also for sure, but most people are going to aspire to be like you. And so one thing that I think is important is, you know, keep your charitable aspirations alive. You are both kind-hearted people. You are going to have a lot of money. So with that money, you need to have balance. So this is temperance, and temperance is all about balance, all about kind of making sure that you have an equilibrium. And so what I see here is the fame and the fortune, you know, this is something that is really going to pull you guys in, and it is like a long journey, but make sure that you stay charitable. Do something where you're giving back to your broader community, not just through this idea, but rather through kind of volunteering efforts, something where the people you might not be able to touch naturally, like for example, people who might be impoverished or living in harder situations, you know, make sure that you're doing something for them too. This serves a dual purpose. One, I think it's extremely fulfilling, and two, I think that you have the ability to inspire a broader audience to do the same things and have the same effort. Definitely overall, I think people really do like you guys and see you guys as very innovative figures. Knight of Swords, I've already talked about this in terms of being determined, so continue to be determined, continue to chart your way even when the path might seem unclear, but the truth is that you guys have a very clear path. You know, once you meet each other, I actually think that it's really just about building this idea and making sure that this idea comes to fruition, which I think it will. So I'm just going to draw one final card for you guys and just ask if there's anything else that you need to know before I leave you both. So you guys got the Star, which is amazing. The Star is a wish fulfilled. So your future spouse is everything that you want them to be. That is 100% for sure. This person is very attractive, popular, kind-hearted, and also very innovative. And so this is honestly a fantastic future that I see for you guys. I think that you guys are going to absolutely knock it out of the park. And with the Star, just remember that this is about dreams coming true. So literally, however you imagine your future spouse to be, you are absolutely going to have that 100%. And this is also a very peaceful card. So I feel that other people will recognize your charitable side. They will recognize that despite all of this wealth and all of this fame and fortune that you guys are able to amass, you also have this very loving, charitable, and nurturing side. So group one, those are the messages I got for you guys today. I'm very happy for you guys. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on your post notifications. And if you would like a personal reading or would like to give a donation, you can find all of those links in my YouTube banner. Alright guys, I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much. Alright, group two. So I have your cards in my hand and we are going to figure out what people think of you and your future spouse. So let's get some clarity and guidance on this today. I'm just going to pull some cards for you guys. Well, that is a very nice card to come out as the first card in the reading. And then I am also going to pull some cards from the Golden Thread Tarot deck, which I have right here. I'm just going to ask how other people see you guys. And I'm just going to get one more. Okay, nice. So I'm just going to introduce these cards briefly and then I'll go through them one by one. So you have the Ace of Wands, the King of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands, Death, and the Hanged Man. So let's get some clarification on what this means. Okay, so with the Ace of Wands, the first thing I'm getting is that other people absolutely love you. I feel like you and your future spouse are very popular in your friend group and in your community. And I'm getting a lot of vibes around just being a very like healing and easygoing couple. You're the type of people that others love to hang out with because you guys are kind of chill, you're easygoing, and you're also pretty smart. So I think this is a really nice combination because what I can see is that in terms of your community and your family and all of your friends, I think that there's a lot of harmonious relationships here that really stand you in good stead for your whole life. So I do think that you guys are the kind of couple where on Friday nights you're going to have movie nights with friends, you're going to invite friends over to dinner and have like a small dinner party, watch Netflix, hang out together. You know, you like being around other people, and so I feel like you guys are a social couple. And I even feel like on the weekends, you know, you have these types of hangout events where you'll like play football on the lawn, or you'll, you know, get your dog and have other people's dogs and just kind of have all the dogs playing together. So whatever it is, you really care about community as a couple, and so you're a very social couple, and other people really like that about you. Now, with the King of Swords, what I'm getting is that your future spouse has to pay attention to their finances. I know that sounds a little weird, but I don't know why I'm getting that. That's what I'm getting. The way I would describe this is I see you guys as a couple where you're living the typical like American dream, or so it's shown in movies, right? So I feel like you guys have the house and the picket fence and the dog and the family and the kids and all of that, and the lifestyle I see is quite stable and quite harmonious, like I said before. So I think that your family gets along really well. I think that you and your future spouse have a very open and loving relationship. When it comes to finances, I do think that there's a tendency for your future spouse to, I mean, they're never going to have issues when it comes to finances, like they're not going to run out of money or anything like that, but I think that they're just kind of casual when it comes to money sometimes. They might kind of spend money on something that they don't really need. I just feel like it's important that you keep them in check and that you make sure they're not going off and spending money on like the sports gear that they don't really need. You know what I mean? So keep them in check, make sure that they're not just like wasting money on random stuff, but it's okay. You guys aren't going to have any significant issues with money. That's not what I'm saying at all. When we see the King of Swords, this usually describes someone who's fairly logical. So I do feel that you are logical people, you're smart, like I said before, but what I'm seeing here is actually more harmonious energy when it comes to your future spouse taking care of your kids. So I feel like they have a lot of patience when it comes to taking care of the children. They are a classic parental figure, and I think that this makes them really popular in terms of your community at school as well. So I feel like your kids in the future really have a good community at school, and your future spouse is going to like volunteer at school, going to help out, taking care of the kids. You know, they really are a helper. And so I feel like you guys have a very nice balance because you both really care about raising your kids to be the best people they can be. And I think that you have a very, very happy family life. So that's really good. The Eight of Swords. So what I'm getting with the Eight of Swords is that, first of all, this is not a significant energy because, like I said, you guys have a very harmonious life, and the first card that you pull is always symbolic of the whole reading. So the Ace of Wands is like the best card you could have gotten. So it's already a very successful reading. So the Eight of Swords here, usually what this signifies is someone who feels that they're stuck, and they're not really stuck, you know? This lady has a blindfold on. If she were to take it off, she could easily step out of the swords. And so for some reason, what I'm getting is I think that sometimes your life might feel to you to be a little bit too repetitive. Like it's like wake up, have coffee, walk the dog, takes the kids to school, and you kind of do that every day. And I think that there's a little bit of you that desires to travel or move and not necessarily fall into this pattern of doing the same things every single day. And so I feel like you guys will just have to be open about that with each other. And I think your future spouse is actually pretty open to moving, but I think that they're going to prioritize the children and the family first and foremost. Not saying that you're not, because you definitely will as well, but I think your worldview is a little bit broader and you have more of a desire to move around from place to place and not necessarily feel like you're just living the same life every day. And I think your future spouse is a little bit more chill and more of a homebody. So I think that he or she will tend to be pulled to staying in the home and will be totally fine with kind of just going through the same motions every day. They don't need to be like traveling the world and seeing tons of stuff all the time. So I think this is just something that you're going to need to be open with them about and make sure that your needs are met. In terms of how other people see you, as I said before, I don't get anything but positive vibes about how other people see you. I feel like other people really see you as a couple that is giving back to your community, and you guys are really nurturing energy. So you're really helping to grow the community. I feel like you're volunteering for stuff. You know people in your town or your city. I do see you living more in the suburbs, by the way, but I think that you know the people who are in your town and your community pretty well. So it's not like you're too spread out. I think that you do have a house and your own privacy and all of that, but you naturally like get to know your neighbors, and you naturally are wanting to volunteer at events and go to the town fair, you know, see the fireworks when the town fireworks are on and all of that stuff. So I only get positive vibes in terms of how you are viewed publicly. And then here we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords shows me that I think you guys are determined as a couple to improve things. And I do see this happening more at the local level. So we see this person clutching a sword and they're quite determined. You know, they have something that they want to change. For some reason, I think that this card is more applying to you, you know, you watching this video, not so much your future spouse, but I think that you might actually be the organizer of a committee, something within your community that you're very passionate about. For some of you, I'm getting a very feminine energy, like wanting to uplift women, wanting to empower the female population in your community. But it could be other things. It could be like supporting local businesses, you know, helping to bring new energy and even money to the town. So I think that you guys are very committed to your area. You have all of these initiatives that draw you to this specific place, and this specific place does very well because you are a driver in this community. So people love you, like I said. They actually look to you as someone who is an innovator and is here to change things for the better. And I think that your future spouse is like more of the calm energy, like the calm, supportive energy, and very chill, easy to hang out with. And you are the one who's like a little bit more determined and cutting edge about, you know, how you want to go about things in your life. But I think this is, once again, a very good combination. You are loved by everyone. People are in awe of you guys because they're just like, how are they able to do all of this stuff? Here we have the Page of Wands. And so this, I think, is, again, more of a reflection of you. I think you're the type of person that comes up with a lot of ideas and you're like, oh, we should do this, we should do that, let's try this, let's try that. And I think your future spouse is kind of along for the ride. Like, they're there to support you and help you in whatever you want to do. And so I think that, you know, this is seen very positively by other people, because other people just can't understand how can you fit so much stuff into one day. You have ideas that you want to share with the world. And I do primarily see that being your local area first and foremost. And then here we have Death, and I personally love this card. I feel like what this card is saying is that you are bringing a lot of transformation to your area. I feel like you are the type of person where you and your future spouse together are going to, you know, set up some kind of club, some kind of event. It's like a community gathering type of feeling that I get, where I think that you guys have the power to really draw people in and inspire them. And so I feel like you guys have this very unique balance where we have the King of Swords here, And, you know, normally the King of Swords is just like this very determined figure, but I think your future spouse is a little bit more chill, like I said. And then I think you are the one with the sword, being super determined. And because of that, because of this unique combination we have here, you guys together are bringing new life to the community, new life, new ideas, and new inspiration. And it doesn't have to be drastic change, but I do feel that for your community, this is very important for you guys. I think that your community isn't necessarily used to having people who are so committed like you guys are, and so I think they're very grateful for it. The Hanged Man. So with the Hanged Man, I see this connecting back to what I was talking about before with the Eight of Swords. So you might have desires to kind of take this around the world or to do this community outreach and work on a broader level. And I think that for some reason, it's almost like the universe contains you to this specific place in your life, this specific location. And I think it's totally okay, because with the Hanged Man, you know, this person, they're not going through something that is crazy and changing every day. But what they are doing is they are helping to gain wisdom. So during this time, you guys are gaining immense wisdom, and you're also teaching other people. You just need to come to terms with the fact that your impact is just as strong locally as it would be globally. I feel like that's something that, for some reason, I feel very called to tell you. So I'm just going to shuffle from the Rider-Waite deck and ask if there is anything that I need to leave you guys with today. I'll likely pull one card, which is again about how people view you and your future spouse. There you go, the same card again, the Eight of Swords. Okay, so I will pull another card, but the Eight of Swords, make sure that you don't feel stuck all the time, right? Because people love you, people enjoy being around you. There's no need to feel stuck. It's very important that you guys have these open conversations about how can we make sure that both of our needs are met, because I think one of you is naturally a little bit more risk-taking and the other one is naturally more chill, and so that just needs to be balanced out. But you guys are absolutely adored by everyone, so you don't need to worry about that. You know, you guys are gonna figure it out. Let me just see if there's anything else. Oop, sorry. Okay, look at this. This is the Ten of Cups. So it is amazing, first of all, to get this card in your spread, because this is exactly the harmonious energy that I was talking about before when we see the Ace of Wands, the King of Swords, the Ace of Swords, this transformational energy. This Ten of Cups energy is normally someone or a pair, as we see here. It's a pair that settles. So you see here they have their house, they have their kids, and they're able to change the world. And they don't have to do crazy drastic things in order to do that, but they're able to make their mark, you know, and they do it in a very nice, very harmonious way. And the Ten of Cups is significant of bliss. So this Eight of Swords energy, you guys don't need to be concerned about this. This is just an inner feeling that I think you experience. But the Ten of Cups is really the mark that you leave upon the world, which is fantastic. So start local, be okay with being local. You don't need to go global, it's perfectly fine. You're helping to make your community more wise and more innovative, and by uplifting that population of people, I think that you really are able to make a significant change and make things better and make more people feel like this, right? So this is what you and your future spouse have within, and this is what you want to share with the world. So group 2, those are the messages that I got for you guys today. If you liked this reading, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also turn on your post notifications. And if you would like a personal reading or want to give a donation, I would be very grateful. You can get all of those links in my YouTube banner. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Alright, group 3, welcome to your reading. So we are going to find out what other people think about you and your future spouse. And I have your cards here, so I'm just going to start shuffling them. and I'm just going to use the Golden Thread Tarot deck and get a few more cards. Pick one more. Okay. So here we have the Six of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Princess of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, Strength, the Emperor, the Seven of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to briefly go through each of these and explain any intuitive messages that I'm getting. So the first thing that I thought when I got this card is you guys are going on a journey, and I feel like you and your future spouse will have been together for a long while by the time that this journey starts manifesting in your life. This might have been a long relationship that you guys are having, by the point that you get here. So you might already be with your future spouse. That's the first thing that I wanted to tell you guys. But this card is usually signifying that you're changing direction and you're able to kind of go down a new path. And I think that in context of how other people see you, what this means is the way that other people see you is changing and is shifting. And I'm going to get some more clarification on, whether this is shifting in a more positive direction, negative, or if there's any kind of other messages coming through here. With the Queen of Swords, I think that other people see you as the leader in the relationship. And so the Queen of Swords is someone who is able to charge ahead, and she does so with this amazing purpose and this amazing focus. And so I feel like you are the person who draws the boundaries in the relationship, and other people recognize that. So, they would probably say, oh, she wears the pants or he wears the pants. Whoever's watching this, it will be applicable to you. And so with the Queen of Swords, I think that you are naturally a determined person. I actually see you being very determined in terms of your career and rising up the ladder or rising up the hierarchy, so to speak. And I think that this is something where you actually inspire your spouse to do the same. So your spouse, I'm getting a kind of different energy from them, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more calm in that sense. But I think you are quite determined, and you know what you want, and you know that you're going to go out there and get it, which is great. A lot of feminine energy that we're seeing here in these cards. So once again, Princess of Cups. So if you are a female and you are watching this reading, then the feminine energy in this relationship is very important, because it's actually a mix of this determination and this strength with this more organic and maternal kind of energy. And that's something that you guys have in your relationship, which is amazing. And I think other people are admiring of that. So with the Princess of Cups, cups, first of all, resemble emotions. And so you and your future spouse are able to have a very open emotional relationship. You're able to share what is in your heart and your mind and your soul. And this is a natural free flow of energy between the two of you. And I think that other people are feeling that you guys have this amazing mix between being very determined on the one hand and being very sensitive on the other. And so with the Princess of Cups, we're seeing someone who is naturally good at tuning in, naturally good at picking up on any kind of insights that other people might completely miss. And so I feel like this is you, the person watching this video. You are able to naturally pick up on feelings and thoughts and perceptions that other people miss. This is why you and your future spouse are actually drawn to each other. There's this kind of unique ability here that not everybody has, which is really cool. I do get a calmer energy for your spouse. What I mean by that is I think that your spouse is someone who is very centered and grounded in who they are. They're not trying to draw attention to themselves. I feel that they're quite a calm, laid back person. And so I think that once again, you are the person who is driving the decisions in the relationship. And I think what the Six of Swords is actually meaning here is you're kind of the person who's steering the ship. So think about it that way. You are basically the one who is able to say, okay, in 2 years' time, we're going to move to this place. In 5 years' time, we should have done X, Y, Z. And I think you actually do have this kind of planning mentality, whereas your future spouse is just there to support you, protect you, and also help to provide. Although I think that both of you are working. This is what I get. I think that both of you are bringing in money, so that's really cool. The Wheel of Fortune is an interesting card to draw because it does signify some kind of change. And so I feel like maybe the way that people perceived you when you guys were younger and like growing up together and all of that stuff, you know, even if you were teenagers or doing your master's degree or whatnot together, it's a little different than how they end up perceiving you later on in life. And I think that's very normal. You know, people's perceptions change. But the Wheel of Fortune is signifying of more of a fundamental change. So this is going more towards the foundational level and the foundational elements of your relationship. And so I feel like you guys do develop as people very dramatically compared to other relationships. And so I think especially with you, you get this determination and this purpose, and you know the goals that you want to achieve, and you just go out there and you're ready to achieve them. And I think your future spouse develops in the sense that they understand how to balance the different energies in their life. You know, one of the things that they balance is actually your dreams and your expectations, because I think you have very high expectations for yourself. And so I think they're able to kind of put that into part of the bigger picture, and they're able to see, okay, you know, this is how all the puzzle pieces fit together. The other thing I'm getting with the Wheel of Fortune is just expansion in terms of ideas and also in terms of travel. And so I think that you are both very determined people in your own right. You are more of the forceful, let's go do it, let's go get it kind of energy, whereas your future spouse is more of the consistent, hardworking, you know, patient energy. And so I think in your own right, you guys are both able to explore a lot of different ideas. So here we have strength. And so what I'm getting is that you see this woman here, and she is with this lion, right? And she's kind of taming this lion. She's taming the energy of the rawness of the lion. And so I think with strength, there are going to be some people who think, oh wow, like this one person in the relationship is coming across too strong, or they're too bold. And so there is a little bit of judgment around that. But to be perfectly honest, I don't think you should pay any attention to it, because I think you should be bold, and I like your boldness. You know, you are the Queen of Swords. You have to be bold in order to get your goals and in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And so yes, other people might say, oh, you know, she's coming across too strong, or he's coming across too strong. The thing with strength is that, you know, you have to come across strong, right? You have to come across strong in order to have that deliberate, focused energy that allows you to manifest what you want to manifest. And so I would honestly encourage you to keep being strong, keep speaking your mind. This is the type of person that you are, and other people might have little opinions here and there about how you come across or how you present yourself to other people, but I honestly wouldn't pay much attention to it. With the Emperor, as I said before, you know, I think that you and your future spouse are both bringing in money. And so I think that this is a really good sign. The Emperor is showing that not only are you going to be very successful in terms of your career, but you also are making a mark upon your organization. And so I do think that there's potential here for you especially to rise hierarchically up the ladder to a very prominent position, someone who is able to spread their influence across a broader population of people. And so it's not just like you are influencing your immediate family, rather you have a very prominent position where you're able to influence a whole array of people, some people who you don't even know. Because if you think about being in an organization, if you're a CEO, a CFO, CMO, CHRO, whatever it is, you don't know all of the people that you're touching, but they're all in your same company. And so I think that this is definitely accessible for you guys. The Seven of Wands. So when we see the Seven of Wands, usually what this has to do with is feeling a little bit of conflict, feeling a little bit like you have this inner determination, and then there's other people who are a little bit against you, or so it feels that way. But the thing about the Seven of Wands, which I always like to point out, is these other wands, these other people who are kind of attacking, for lack of a better word, they don't get past you. So you can see here, you are the one with the shield. You're able to hold them back. And so with the Seven of Wands, I just think that sometimes people think you come across too strong and they might kind of attack you for it. And I actually think it is more just towards one person in the relationship. I don't even necessarily think that they're saying this about you and your future spouse. It's like they're just targeting one person and that's it. But my advice is just use your future spouse as an anchor, because that's the role that they need to play in your life. You know, the anchor is the person who's able to make sure that when you're steering the ship, you're also able to kind of be calm when you need to be calm and stop when you need to stop. And so your future spouse has all of your best interests at heart. They absolutely adore you, and they're able to tell you like, whoa, you know, calm down, it's okay. Don't care about what all of these other people are thinking or saying. Instead, just stay calm and we'll get through it together. And I think that between the two of you, you're able to have this very strong foundation that other people can't really break into, regardless of how hard they might try. And then lastly, here we have the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is showing me you guys are very strategic together. And so what I see is, you know, this person's expression, he's very serious. He's very serious about what he wants out of his life and what he wants out of the world. So he knows that he's come to the world and he's only come for a short amount of time in the broader context of the universe, and he knows that he has some very intense dreams and goals to pursue. And so you and your future spouse are like this amazing partnership where together you're able to climb the mountain. You know, you can climb the mountain of life, and not everything is easy, but one of you being patient and calm and the other being determined and focused, you know, together you're able to be extremely successful. And so this is a whole new strategic level that we're seeing with this relationship, which is what the Wheel of Fortune is alluding to here. So maybe in the past, if you guys had this relationship where you knew each other when you were younger and it's been long and drawn out, in the past, it might not have been so determined and so focused, but now it's very determined and focused, and there's all of this strong female energy in the relationship. And so this is a new strategy. This is a new way that you are living your life. So I'm just going to ask if there are any other messages that I should leave you guys with today. This is the Rider-Waite deck, and I'm just going to pull a card or two. Queen of Wands, wow. So you guys have the Queen of Swords. You also have the Queen of Wands. A lot of wands, you know, wands and swords at the same time. So with the wand energy, this is someone who is very idea driven. And so you are not going to stop at just achieving one goal. No, you want to achieve all of them. The wand energy is someone who is absolutely strategic. They have a lot of vision and a lot of purpose. And the good thing about the Queen of Wands is she's a true queen. She's able to bring other people along on the journey. And so I do see you being the main innovator, the main ruler in this relationship. You are the queen. You're the one who draws the boundaries. And I see your spouse as being the calm energy that walks alongside you guys. And so you guys have this very beautiful partnership. Your spouse is like a king, but once again, he's not like a king that needs to be on a throne that everybody needs to see. You are the one who is most visible in this relationship. Those are all of the messages that I got for you guys today. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity and guidance. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications. And if you would like a personal reading or would like to give a donation, I would really appreciate it. You can find all of those links in my YouTube banner. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much. Bye!